What's up, Raider Nation? Victor here. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be one of the most franchise-defining off-seasons we've seen in years for the Las Vegas Raiders. Two massive storylines just collided. One could rip the heart out of this defense, the other could bring a Super Bowl MVP to Las Vegas. And I need you to hear me out before you react. Let's start with the Bombshell trade rumor. There's a serious proposal floating around that would send the emotional leader of this team, the relentless, high-motor defensive nightmare who's posted double-digit sacks in 4 straight seasons, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're talking about the guy offenses literally game plan around, the engine of the defense, the tone setter, the culture. And what's the proposed return? A veteran wide receiver from Tampa Bay who's been productive but battled injuries, a 2026 first-round pick, projected mid-round, and a 2027 second-rounder. That's it. Now let's think about this. Tampa Bay hasn't had a single player hit 10 sacks in a season since 2021. Meanwhile, our guy has done it every year since. He's under contract at around $30 million per season. He's proven. He's elite. He's not a projection. So the question is simple. Raider Nation, is one first-round pick and an injury risk receiver worth losing the face of your defense? Or is this the kind of bold reset move you make when you're trying to accelerate a rebuild? And now, it gets even crazier. Because while that defensive drama unfolds, our new head coach might be eyeing a reunion with a former player from the Seattle Seahawks. Not just any player, a Super Bowl MVP, a running back who just put up 161 scrimmage yards on the biggest stage in football in a 29-13 win over the New England Patriots. 27 carries, 135 rushing yards, explosive, physical, clutch, first running back to win Super Bowl MVP since 1998. And here's the twist. Seattle is reportedly unlikely to franchise tag him. That means he could hit the open market. That means Vegas, with serious cap space, could make a move. And here's why this matters. He thrived in our head coach's system. He understands rotational backfields. He's still in his prime. If you're drafting a young quarterback, what's the best way to protect him? Run game, balance, play action, control the clock. So now, Raider Nation, here's the crossroads. Do you move your defensive superstar for draft capital and reshape the roster? Or do you keep the defense intact and go all in on bringing in a championship-proven offensive weapon? This offseason isn't about small tweaks, it's about identity. Before we reveal the names involved and break down the financial implications, the locker room impact, and what this really means for the future, smash that like button if you bleed silver and black, and subscribe to Raiders Nation Update. But only if you're a real one. We're pushing hard for 2,000 subscribers, and this community is building something special. All right, Raider Nation, are we about to witness a defensive earthquake or an offensive revolution? Let's get into it. There's now a detailed trade proposal floating around that would send Max Crosby to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the return package? It's big. We're talking a proven wide receiver, a first-round pick, another day 2 pick. Yeah, this offseason is not for the weak. All right, let's break this down calmly because emotionally, this is tough. The proposed trade package. According to ESPN analyst Benjamin Solak, here's the deal. Buccaneers receive Max Crosby, 2027 fifth-round pick. Raiders receive Chris Godwin, 2026 first-round pick, 15th overall, 2027 second-round pick. That's serious draft capital. That's not a lowball offer, and there's context here that matters. Raiders GM John Spytek previously worked under Buccaneers GM Jason Licht in Tampa Bay. There's familiarity, there's trust. That relationship could absolutely factor into negotiations. Why Tampa Bay would do this? Let's look at it from their side. The Bucs haven't had a player hit 10 sacks in a season since Shaquille Barrett back in 2021. Meanwhile, Crosby? He's had 10-plus sacks in each of the last 4 seasons. He's durable. He plays through pain. He sets the tone. He's one of the most relentless edge rushers in football. For a team that believes it's close to a Super Bowl run, Crosby is the type of move that pushes you over the top. So from Tampa's perspective, this makes a ton of sense. Why this is complicated for us now, let's talk Raiders. Chris Godwin is not just some throw-in. He's been one of the most consistent receivers in the league since 2017. He just signed a 3-year, $66 million contract last offseason. When healthy, he's a high-volume, reliable chain mover. He would instantly become a major piece in Clint Kubiak's offense. He blocks, he works the middle, he's physical, he fits the system. But here's the concern. Injuries. They've stacked up, and his production has dipped because of it. So you'd be taking on a sizable contract and betting on health. But you'd also be gaining the 15th overall pick in 2026 and a 2027 second-rounder. That's the kind of capital you use to draft a quarterback's protector, or a defensive cornerstone, or even trade up. The real question, is Crosby untouchable? Let's stop pretending this is just about numbers. Max Crosby is the identity of this defense. He's the motor, the edge, the attitude. When people think Raiders football, they think Crosby. But if he truly wants out, if the relationship is fractured, you cannot let a superstar leave for less than full value. And this is full value. A starting caliber veteran receiver plus a mid-first round pick plus a second-round pick. That's not disrespectful. That's a franchise-altering package. My honest opinion. As a fan, I don't want Max going anywhere. As someone trying to look at this logically, if you're rebuilding around a young quarterback, adding Chris Godwin and the 15th overall pick is not a bad pivot. But here's the part that scares me. Elite pass rushers are harder to find than good wide receivers. You can draft receivers. You can sign receivers. Finding a Max Crosby? That's rare. So if we move him, we better hit on those picks. No misses, no projects. No wasted value, because once he's gone, he's gone. Now I want to hear from you, Raider Nation. If this exact offer is on the table, Godwin, a first, and a second, are you taking it? Or is Max Crosby untouchable, no matter what? Drop your take in the comments. Let's have a real debate. Raider Nation, what if I told you the Super Bowl MVP could be wearing silver and black next season? Yeah, not a rumor, not a fantasy. A real possibility. What's up, Raider Nation? It's Victor, and you're watching Raiders Nation Update, the home for die-hard Las Vegas Raiders fans. If you love this team like I do, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and every single real Raider fan helps us get there. All right, let's talk about something that could completely change this offense. After the Super Bowl, the Raiders hired former Seattle offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as the new head coach, replacing Pete Carroll. There's serious buzz that Seattle is unlikely to place the franchise tag on star running back Kenneth Walker III. Let that sink in. The Super Bowl MVP might hit free agency. Why this is realistic first, let's talk about what Walker just did. In Super Bowl LX, Walker was named MVP after absolutely dominating. 27 carries, 135 rushing yards, 2 receptions, 26 receiving yards, 161 total scrimmage yards. Seattle beat the New England Patriots 29-13. Walker was the first running back to win Super Bowl MVP since 1998. That's historic. And 2025 wasn't just a hot playoff stretch. It was his healthiest and most complete season. Who was calling the offense? Clint Kubiak. That matters. The system fit Walker is a perfect fit in Kubiak's outside zone system. Explosive one-cut ability, vision, patience. Burst through the second level. In Seattle, he worked in a rotation with Zach Charbonnet. And here's another wrinkle. Charbonnet tore his ACL in the playoffs and may not even be ready to start next season. If Seattle doesn't tag Walker and he walks, they're suddenly without both top running backs. But here's the thing. Running backs are financially devalued in today's NFL. It only takes one aggressive team to change that. And guess who has cap space? The Raiders. How he'd fit in Vegas. Imagine this backfield. Kenneth Walker paired with Ginty, forming the same type of dynamic duo Walker had in Seattle. A rotation, fresh legs, explosive plays. Kubiak believes in balance. He believes in controlling tempo. He believes in play action built off a legitimate run threat. You want to help a young quarterback? Give him a run game that demands 8 men in the box. Walker averaged strong production per game this season, was durable, and showed he can carry the load when needed. 27 carries in the Super Bowl alone tells you that. He's not just a committee back, he's a difference maker. The financial question now. Here's the real debate. How much is too much for a running back? Even elite ones don't typically command quarterback or pass rusher money. But coming off a Super Bowl MVP performance, his value is at its peak. If Seattle hesitates to meet his number, Vegas could step in. John Spytek has the cap flexibility. The question is philosophy. Do you invest heavily at running back in 2026? Or do you build through the draft and cheaper rotation options? My honest take. If you're building a culture shift under Kubiak, bringing in a Super Bowl MVP who already knows the system sends a message. It says, we're not rebuilding slowly, we're accelerating. But I'll say this too, running backs can wear down quickly. You have to structure the deal smartly. Incentives, limited long-term risk. Because as electric as Walker is, the NFL is ruthless at that position. Raider Nation, let's talk. Would you pay Kenneth Walker the third top running back money to bring him to Vegas? Or would you stick with a younger, draft-focused approach? Imagine him in silver and black, though. Explosive runs inside Allegiant Stadium. Play-action bombs off his gravity. Defenses scrambling. That's exciting football. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I want to hear where Raider Nation stands on this. And if you're hyped about the direction this team could be heading, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are pushing toward 2,000 subscribers, and this community keeps getting stronger every single day. This is Victor. And if the Super Bowl MVP ends up in Vegas, just win, baby.